Welcome to Survivor NSFW. Johnny, you got a nice blue. I usually wear all black. However, I like that color blue. You got the Dirty Harry shirt. I'm assuming you can get that at johnnyfairplay.com.
You can. And as you notice, Harry's got the toothpick, which is an homage to his favorite players from U.S. Survivor. You know, Wendell and others that have had the toothpick. Dirty Harry loves American Survivor. For those of you that are patrons, you got to enjoy Dirty Harry doing an interview prior to being allowed to do interviews from Australian All-Stars, and no spoilers. You know, we did the interview last night in real time up until right now. The finale is Monday, or as they call it, the grand finale. So for those of you that have been on the bubble, you know, do I want to be a patron or not? Earlier this week, we did the top 10 worst winners in the history of Survivor, joined by Russell Hantz. And I saw some negative feedback on Reddit. It's just like, hey, that's you know, how uncool is that to do worst win? Look, this is all about fun, and we do start our list by saying, hey, we're saying this. None of us three won. So let's get that out of the way. These guys won.
Yeah, right.
Kudos there. And for anyone that has listened to it, the feedback has been through the roof. It's considered one of our best podcasts ever. It was so much fun. You know, we give it and took it back tenfold. It was a blast. And honestly, you know, on the Patreon, we're looking to give you guys like double the content we've ever given up until this quarantine that's facing us here in America and around the world. And so when coming up with an idea for a podcast and a top 10, you know, it's a lot easier to pick the top 10. Like if I say, hey, give me the top 10 worst survivors, you can grab 10. It literally took 2 minutes to pick 10 survivors that are at the bottom of my list, bottom of your list, bottom of Russell's list, and then, you know, assimilate whatever order we want. You know, when it comes to doing a top 10 best winners, which we're doing next week, you know, we're equal opportunity offenders, and that will take more time. I mean, that's a tougher podcast. We just wanted to have fun with it. We wanted to give you guys all this bonus content, and we are doing that on the patron side of things. So if you've ever been on the bubble, now is the time. Go to patreon.com/Survivor NSFW. Give it a try. It is the perfect companion piece to your lockdown. You know what they're referring to our Patreon as?
What's that?
A sore Peter.
Really?
Yeah, it's hard to beat. and for any of you that's alone like Jonny Fairplay is during this quarantine time, I can attest to the fact of what a sore Peter's all about.
Well, here's the thing, Jonny Fairplay. Even though it's sore, it's got to be stiff, right? And the only thing that can get your wiener stiff as a board, right, is BlueChew, my friend. BlueChew. Let's just go back to here. Remember the days, Jonny Fairplay, before the quarantine, before you were, you know, mid-40 male, when it was just, you know, you could be ready at the drop of a hat. Well, those days are gone for a lot of men.
Thanks.
So, yeah.
Don't remind my 26-year-old girlfriend that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, dude, literally, if you guys want to increase your performance and get that extra confidence in bed, listen up. BlueChew.com. That's blue like the color blue, like a color of a damn Smurf. BlueChew brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so you know they work. You can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach. And Johnny, since they're chewable, they work up to twice as fast as a pill, so you can be ready whenever the opportunity arises. What do you got to say, Johnny, about that?
I am on this quarantine. I have been staying the fuck at home. I have been adhering to the rules. However, there's going to be a time and place in the very near future where I feel like a prisoner. Like you know, I feel like I'm doing 30 years right now. And when that conjugal visit happens, If you don't think I'm chewing 18 Blue Chews, which I would not suggest for anyone to do, one will do the job, I assure you. But I'm making a fourth hole when when it's all said and done, thanks to my good friends at BlueChew. That's blue like the color blue, BlueChew.com. Use promo code Survivor and get yourself a free super hard dick. Just pay $5 shipping. I mean, I would pay $5 to ship myself a super hard dick all day long, and so should you. Go to BlueChew.com, use promo code Survivor. Avoid the awkward in-person visit. You can't even go to the doctor. Stay the fuck at home. Go online. Get it prescribed to you at home, delivered to you at home. For those of you stuck with your significant others, and maybe it's a little trying. Maybe it's a little tense. Maybe it's hard to deal with. Well, you know what also can be hard? Your dick, and then put it in and make things a lot better for everyone involved.
Right on, dude. So listen up, dude. This was something that I had seen coming if the day would have arrived that Sandra Diaz-Twine would go to Edge of Extinction. This is, kind of, I don't know. It's bittersweet to me when we start the episode at Edge of Extinction and, Parv, everyone hates that I call her poverty, but so Parv is saying, like, she's like, man, I've never got voted out before, merged before. It's like,
well, honey, you would have. If I had hung around for one more fucking day, I assure you, would have not only gone home before the merge, you would have gone home day 3. So right. Count your blessings. You need to fucking send a thank you card to Danny Bonaducci is what you need to do, Parvati, and quit bragging about how fucking great you are. But I don't fucking see Bonaducci 8 days before I leave for fans versus favorites. Parvati's out day 3. We ain't talking her great game on Heroes Villains, and she sure is fucking out on the Edge of Extinction right now. So let's just relax, okay? Yeah, I'm relaxed. Relaxed. But I just hear all these accolades that she gives herself, and I'm just like, fucking calm down, lady. Like, you didn't come up with the Sandra bench. We came up with that with 2003. You were not responsible for me going home with our conversation. Had nothing to fucking do with you whatsoever. And these other accolades that she gives herself, it's like, once again, Heroes Villains, one of the greatest games I've ever seen a single person play in the history of Survivor. Props.
Right. Yeah, right.
But, just calm down.
Yeah. So. No, she acted a bit cocky. Yeah. I've never met her before, but she's like, never got.
I think that set the tone for Parvati, for Sandra leaving. I think Sandra gets there. She's got Parvati running her mouth. Boston Rob's explaining to Sandra how she played the game wrong, and Sandra looks around and Tyson explains, there's a cup of rice, you have to go up the hill. Sandra's like, fuck all of this.
Right. Well, I mean, I honestly, in this situation, Sandra was on the Island of the Idols with Boston Rob last season as advisors. She's won 2 times. And, so she ends up saying, you know what? I am not down with having to climb up the hill for rice and this, that. I know that this is not going to be fun. I've already, here's the thing, man. Sandra has played so much Survivor. She has nothing to prove anymore, right? She knows 100%, even if miraculously she makes it back into the game, she's not going to win. No one is going to grant her that.
That target doesn't, if she wins her way back into the game, her target is twice as big as it was before she got booted. Well, and it was already huge.
Right. Well, people in the chat right now are saying she's a quitter. And, anyone that's left of Survivor has been crucified by fans. Nothing should change for Sandra. To me, in this situation, dude, it's just my opinion. It's not even like she's leaving Survivor. She's like, look, you fucking guys voted me out. I got voted out of the game. Yeah. And I feel like you guys voted me out. Props to you. She doesn't need any more experience, because one person can say, well, why wouldn't she stay just to hang out with the rest of the Edge of Extinction people for the experience? Well, it's like, dude, Survivor out there. You see tonight, Ethan about ready to tap out.
Yeah.
It looks absolutely miserable, and people don't get when they show these clips. It's like, oh, they're going and doing this stuff or whatever. Survivor can be the most miserable experience you've ever had in your entire life.
They're dying on the edge of extinction. Danny Boatwright is a fucking skeleton right now.
Right.
I mean, they are literally dying. And as far as, Jeff likes to, throw out the phrase, want to know what you're playing for? Well, all these motherfuckers that came out there to play Survivor are playing for $2 million. Right. Guess what, folks? Sandra's won $2 million.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm the last person you would think would be defending her.
Yeah.
So
I think, someone in the comments said, I think Sandra gets a pass. Dude, I don't blame Sandra for leaving. I really don't. And before the season, I knew she would be probably leaving.
She has 0.01% chance of winning whatever challenge it is to get back into the game.
Yeah, she's not
beating Boston Rob or Tyson or even Parvati to get back, no matter what, unless the challenge is sitting on the bench, which I don't think it is. But and I did joke, it's just like, hey, if there is a challenge, Sandra's ready. She's been waiting. She hasn't wasted all her energy doing other challenges. Yep. But no, there is no way. I mean, I honestly, legitimately cannot think of a single challenge that Sandra could beat Boston Rob, Tyson, or Parvati to re-enter the game in. Or not shit. I'm leaving out probably the strongest person out there. Natalie Anderson is a fucking beast.
Right. So here's the thing. People are like calling it a quit. Like, Edge of Extinction is a twist. Yes, you have the opportunity to raise your flag or do whatever you do to get picked up from the Edge of Extinction, but is it truly a quit?
She was voted out of the game.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how can it be a quit if you are voted out? So
no, Boston Rob raises the flag on Edge of Extinction. That's a quit, because on paper, the percentage chance of him re-entering the game, I think, is 50% or better. Tyson Apostle, 50% or better. Natalie Anderson, 50% or better. Ethan, maybe 40% at this point.
Right.
But I mean, I honestly, what is Sandra's chance of winning that challenge to get back in the game? 0.0.
Yep. And she doesn't need, like, let's say I go out there and I know for a fact there's no way I can beat my way back into the game. Like, let's just say I was up against people I knew, God, man, there's no way I'm gonna beat these guys to get back in the game. I don't think I would quit if it was my second time playing, because I would want the experience of just being out there and experiencing the misery.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
but Sandra is the biggest target out of the one person with the biggest target to have no one vote for her to win $2 million in this game in the history of Survivor is Sandra Diaz-Twine. So she was smart, and she's got nothing to prove. She's like, fuck it. I mean, she's got a great life. You know what I mean? Like,
and let's not forget, the plan was not to do an all-winner season for season 40. When her and Boston Rob were called to do Island of the Idols and sit there on an island for 38 days and live on an island, the plan was not for them to go back and play Survivor again for 40.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
So it's they're 3/4 or 2/3 of the way through Island of the Idols, sitting out there, and then Jeff coming by and going, "Hey, looks like we might be doing that winners thing a little sooner than we had planned. What are you guys thinking?" And if I'm Sandra and Boston Rob, you know what I'm thinking? I shouldn't have fucking come out for this motherfucker.
Right. Yeah.
Like, this is the last thing I need to do before I go back out here.
Right,
fuck you guys and your shit fucking timing. If this is a possibility, you should have done this shit on 38.
Yeah. No, I hear you. So Sandra's gone. She's going and hanging out at Ponderosa. She's like, screw this. So Sandra, you are the queen. Props to your Survivor legacy. In my book, I dig you. I think you're awesome. and I don't care what Jonny Fairplay says. At the end of the day, Jonny Fairplay loves you, and don't succumb to any haters online. Fuck all them. So, Sandra, cheers. So, do we go after the Edge of Extinction clip?
Whoa, hold on. I have a question, Matt.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know that, even though Sandra won $2 million, and some people would be like, well, hey, she might be someone I would bet on to make it further into the game and, potentially even win the game because she's won it twice.
Right.
Well, did you put your money where your mouth is, or no money at all to win $2,040 from our good friends and new sponsor of the show, FanDuel? How cool is that?
Hell yes. Hell yeah.
So for those of you that were paying attention to my social media earlier, if you went to FanDuel.com/fairplay, and that's in all caps, it is case sensitive. So that's FanDuel, FanDuel.com/fairplay, FAIRPLAY, FanDuel.com/fairplay. You got to pick who you thought was going to do well this episode. And here's how you get points. You get points for a contestant bequeathing a fire token. A contestant cries on camera with tears, finds or buys an advantage, finds or buys a hidden immunity idol, catches seafood for his or her tribe, chooses to go on reward, plays an advantage at tribal council, things like that. You get points for that. And the people that have the most points, those people get money from FanDuel. 0 to enter. This is a free thing. They're going to be doing this every week through the end of the season, and we're so happy to have them as our newest sponsor here on Survivor NSFW. I just want to thank our good friends at FanDuel.com/fairplay, all caps. And so get your picks in for next week. It's real simple. Check it out. No money to play. So thank you to our newest sponsor and new good friends, FanDuel.com.
Hell yeah, man. So, dude, I tell you what, Yule, we go to the Sele tribe, and Yule is pissed about Wendell's move. Yule is, to me, very smart, pretty much probably the smartest player on this entire season in general.
He's very logical.
He is, dude. He's very logical. He thinks things out, and he's got just great ideas. And I don't know, dude. The whole time, my kids who've never seen Yule's season love Yule. Yeah. So it's pretty interesting because, as we know, like all of the old school people, dude, are at Edge of Extinction, and Yule was the last one standing, right? And it is fascinating. Would you have predicted, Jonny Fairplay, that the old schoolers would be taken out by the new schoolers in this season?
Yeah, it wasn't. I tweeted Jeff Probst right before we went live, and I thought it was a friendly tweet. I put, with all due respect, at Jeff Probst. I don't think it's a matter of the old school players not being able to keep up with the new school players. It's a matter of numbers. Old school tribe versus new school tribe. Let's make it a fair fight, and we'll show you what we got. Hashtag Survivor 41.
Wow. So I didn't even, I'm not the best at math. My kids are brilliant at it. I don't know where maybe I'm not even their real dad or something. I'm horrible at math.
I'm right here.
So how many, so this season, was it lopsided big time of newer players to older players? Wow.
Yeah.
So it would be easy then for them to have the new school players to have a pregame alliance.
Well, even not even pregame alliance, just their style of play melds with players that play that way versus players that don't.
Right.
So, I mean, we did have the case of some old school players going after other old school players, but I don't think that's the case. I mean, I think in a true game of a quote unquote fair fight, I think it's a different ball game. And I also think with there being more new school players, the old school players are forced to play a new school style game just because there's more people playing that new school game. So whereas I think that the old school, slower paced, more human interaction game, if the numbers were even and we have an equal ability to force our style of game upon others as they have to force their style upon us, I think we would actually be more convincing. And I think you would see an overall more old school style game based on our ability for human interaction versus advantages and idols.
Okay, yeah. So Bob Jones says there were 8 older players, 12 newer players. So yeah, it's highly lopsided. So thinking about some of our friends, Johnny, like not even like a winter season, but let's say you throw like a Lex or a Big Tom or a Brian Heidick or a Coach or something like that, or Jonny Fairplay into this mix. Do you think that you guys, even if it was lopsided and let's say it's not Winners at War, let's say it's a legend season, but let's say it's lopsided, 8 old school legends, 12 new school legends, if that even makes sense. Do you guys think
it doesn't make sense?
But I'm saying, like,
yeah.
Would you guys be able to adapt in that situation? I mean, would it terrify you to play against the Wendells and the Dominic Abates and stuff, thinking that you will be a big target, or what?
I'm not terrified of the new school style. I think my gameplay was like the foundation for the new school style of play. I think if you look at my alliance shifting that I did and basically what Rob Cesternino started and what I fine-tuned became the voting block style and the more fluid game of Survivor that you see today, just, now incorporated with idols and advantages. I think as far as that style of play, I would not have a problem with, but I think we would slow it down. I mean, to hear stories of, there's no human interaction, that, they just sit there in paranoia and stare at one another. That wouldn't be happening. And I think in a game that's not dictated by the numbers.
Yeah.
Right. So would, if say you put me, Coach, Lex, and these old school players with more new school players, would we have to play that way? I mean, potentially, yes, just based numbers dictate, Matt. I mean, the Survivor is a game of numbers.
Right.
You got, if you have 8 people in your alliance and I have 4, I can't send you home.
Right. Exactly. Yep.
So if you have 8 people in your new style of play and I have 4, I can't make you play my style of play.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I once again, I think a fair fight is a fair fight.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll see it. So, man, we see Wendell finally apologizes to Michelle. We got this bickering past relationship of them, which kind of throws a wild dynamic into this tribe.
Did Wendell apologize? Because
I mean,
he didn't appreciate being schooled.
Yeah, I mean, he apologized. I'm sorry, Michelle, but then it kind of went into a whole deal. Like, I think that Wendell is being painted, dude, as a cocky dude that's kind of like, I don't know, like I've always had great interactions with Wendell. Yeah. Always been super cool. He's never acted cocky or like a dick to me at all. However, this season, they're painting that picture. Do you have any thoughts on that? Is it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the tension between the two of them is palpable.
Yeah, right.
And I don't like that. And I wish that had been, and it may have been addressed between the two of them before they went out there, and maybe there was an agreement not to discuss the previous relationship, and then it's out there, and then it's exploited by your Parvati's and such.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just, that tension is just so much. And another big thing with Wendell is Wendell says that he wants to play the bad guy this season, and he's made it clear that he's only out there for himself. Then he wants to play this different game, and I have no problem with that.
Yeah,
and I fully I'm all about the adaptability of a player when given the opportunity to play again. Showing that adaptability.
Right.
The only problem with what I see with what Wendell's doing is you can be out there for yourself. You can be more of a bad guy. You can do all these. That's the shit you say in confessionals, not to the other players.
Right. Yeah.
Like, like they might catch that through your actions and be like, what's going on here? But don't tell them that.
No, because we even see it at Tribal Council. Then we see it at the challenge when he's saying, "Hey, yo, probst." I'm just saying there's a little arrogance in the air. And I don't know if
I like the swagger. So I just said I like this character. I just wish we were getting the unveiling of the character or the reveal of the character through confessional and not through him telling them, "Hey, I'm a bad guy this time. You'll never see it coming."
Right. Well, it is interesting. But so here's crazy, man. So, we're about 10 minutes into the episode and we go back to the edge of extinction.
Oh, well,
right?
hold on real quick. There's one point of interest here that we should not gloss over. We do get a quick clip of Michelle giving Wendell one of the fire tokens that she was bequeathed. I used it last time I used a BlueChew on my girlfriend. She bequeathed afterwards. It was really funny. It's not true. 100% not true. But we do see that Michelle gave Wendell a token. And that is important. So
right, hell yeah.
Okay.
So we go back to the edge and Ethan. This is like Ethan's story, man. He's having a tough time. Everyone is looking very miserable. Poverty. She's literally trying to console Ethan and talk him off a ledge because he's thought about just leaving the edge of extinction because his body, dude, he looks very skinny and he knows that, hey, they don't have long-term studies of how the human body reacts to this kind of torture that they're dealing with on Survivor. So
he's gone through a lot too. I mean, I think a lot of people hear Ethan say, I've battled death twice and won, and they're just like, yeah, I've been to the hospital too.
Mm-hmm.
He literally, this guy battled cancer with the help of Lance Armstrong's doctors. And
he was like in a bubble, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, Ethan and I had conversations on the phone, and during this, we're both in tears. It's like, you don't know if that's the last time you're going to talk to this guy. And it could have easily been.
Right.
So that, and so not only is his body not the same guy that you saw in Africa, and not only the same guy that you saw, come back for All Stars, this is physically a different person and also mentally handicapped because in the back of his head, he's just like, okay, I got cancer. That was bad. And then it came back, which was the scariest fucking thing in the world because I went through all this to beat it. And then it fucking comes back.
Yeah.
Me being out here on this island, literally dying day by day physically. Am I opening up my body to the potential of that cancer coming back a third time?
Right. Yeah. I was
huge mind fuck.
Yeah. I don't even know how I would react to that. I mean, it's crazy. And Tyler Warber says, do you think his edit is gearing us to be devastated if Ethan doesn't get off the edge? Seemed like a lot of time spent on it. So that is true. Like, there has been a lot of time. Edge of Extinction, man, is like this journey of Ethan. And it would be beautiful to see Ethan come back into the game. And quite frankly, who knows? Ethan could come back into the game. I just worry a little bit about him and his health, and he's looking really frail. But back to the edge, Parv gives him a pep talk. He stays there, and then Tyson comes.
Hold on. Another thing a lot of people don't know, and I wasn't aware. I just found this out last night.
Yeah,
Parvati was at Ethan's wedding.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And a lot of people are just like, oh, well, that would make sense. They did, season 40 together, and then, maybe they bonded on the edge of Extinction. No. Prior to Ethan got married before season 40, and Parvati was at his wedding. The only two other survivors that I'm aware of that were there were Big Tom and Lex.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's a pretty big bond that I wasn't aware of going into season 40 that Ethan had
with Parv.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. It is. And I'm thinking, like, when I did my exit interview, Parv was doing that Survivor after show, and Ethan was a special guest on the after show. When I called in, it was my vote out, and I was on their show, and it was Ethan and Parv interview. So maybe they had some relationship that was blossomed even before then, but that was back in like 2013. So we see Tyson go grab. Everyone gets these pieces of paper. It's like, a clue, whatever you want to call it, and it's telling everybody that there's fire tokens up on the mountain somewhere.
There's four. Everyone gets their own scroll, and they have to open it up at the same time. And there's 4 fire tokens scattered across the island. And holy moly, Matt! It is no secret that I am no fan of Parvati.
Boston Rob. Oh, Parvati, yeah.
Or Boston Rob, but I was not thinking about Boston Rob at this point.
Yeah.
Watching Parvati run across the edge of Extinction, all I'm thinking is, what kind of manscaping do you think she's got going on right there?
Well, I mean, right now, dude, I tell you what, if you are listening to this podcast now, later, live on YouTube, whatever, you're probably stuck inside your house, maybe with your significant other, quarantined. I want you guys to pay close attention. Today's sponsor, Manscaped, can help you out and make the most of your time together. Manscaped promotes clean hygiene when it comes to shaving your balls. It's time to quarantine, Manscaped, and chill. And Manscaped, Jonny Fairplay, is the only men's brand dedicated to below-the-waist grooming and hygiene. You are probably spending more time than ever with your significant other right now. And let me tell you, if you don't clean down there, your partner will notice. And Jonny Fairplay right now has got the new Lawnmower 3.0, and you have the Manscaped boxer briefs, which we're very comfortable.
And the bag.
And the pouch.
Yeah, and the crop preserver ball deodorant, because, the smelliest part of your body is not your armpits, but you put deodorant on there. How about some deodorant for your balls? And the crop reviver. It's a ball toner, because you never know when you're going to get that last second phone call, and you want to spruce up them balls before that happens. So, but do you know the battery life on this on the Lawnmower 3.0?
Tell me, Jonny Fairplay.
90 minutes.
That's hot, man. You could have a ball shaving party. 90 minutes.
90 minutes. Like, unless your ball sack looks like Matt Bischoff's face. How the fuck do you need 90 minutes of ball shaving amazing technology? So it does have the quiet stroke technology, which I mastered at the age of 13.
So Manscaped is forever changing the grooming game with their Perfect Package 3.0 Essentials Kit. The perfect tools for your family jewels. The Perfect Package 3.0 kit comes with a new and improved Lawnmower 3.0. It's waterproof, it's cordless, and it's basically a ton of liquid formulations to round out your manscaping routine. This is the 3rd generation trimmer featuring cutting-edge ceramic blade to prevent manscaping accidents. Millions of balls are about to be nick-free thanks to Manscaped. Advanced skin-safe technology, and of course, let's not forget about the crop preserver, which we just you showed me on this video. Anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. You put deodorant on your armpits. Why don't you put it on the smelliest part of your body? Subscribers Get a new replacement blade refill for your lawnmower trimmer delivered to your door every 3 months, making sure your trimmer always stays fresh and clean. That's a big one because I use knives and different things throughout my life. And if you don't have replacement blades for anything that's got a blade, you're shit out of luck. So that's a great one. And for a limited time, subscribers get not one but 2 free gifts: the Shed travel bag, $39 value, the patented high-performance anti-chafing Manscaped boxer briefs. This is the perfect package for your perfect package. Get 20% off and free shipping with promo code SURVIVOR at manscaped.com, manscaped.com. Do yourself a favor, Jonny Fairplay. Always use the right tools for the job.
All right, so we have a little giveaway. So for those of you that follow me on Instagram at Jonny Fairplay, I posted a pic of the Perfect Package 3.0 kit. Includes the Lawnmower 3.0 and everything that we've talked about tonight. And we're all you had to do was follow me, follow Manscaped, and then tag a couple friends, and you were in the running. Oh, also DM a pic of your longest pube to at the Matt Bischoff. Matt, did you get any pic? The pic was optional.
Well, no, because someone said, "Do you really need me to send you a picture of my longest pube?" And I said, "No, you do not."
Son of a bitch. In the future, ask me, and the answer is yes. But yeah. So Matt, just with those magic fingers of yours, just open up that post and scroll and just
right now.
Yeah, let's pick a winner.
Okay, hold on. Yeah. So tell me where to go. I was zoning out for a minute. Is it
Jonny Fairplay? And then the post
on Facebook, correct?
No, on Instagram.
On Instagram, okay. I was looking at a question on Facebook. Okay, so let me go here. Jonny Fairplay. Follow him on Instagram and follow me also at the Matt Bischoff.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm bringing this up. My shit's. I turn off my Wi-Fi sometimes, so my stuff. All right.
Okay.
So don't miss this contest. Lawnmower 3.
The next one.
Not that picture.
No, the post beside it.
Okay, I see it. Yep.
Yeah.
And there's comments, and I'm just going to pick the one.
So click to open it. Click view all 9 comments. Only 9 people entered. You guys are insane.
Yep.
Okay, so just do that and then pick one.
Preston the Otaku.
There you go.
Preston _the_, and I'm showing you my finger landed right there.
There you go.
That's the Instagram. So good job. And you're gonna be good. So we go back, Jonny.
Hey, next week, how about a Manscaped t-shirt that says your balls will thank you?
Yes, that's awesome.
All
Hell
right.
yeah. Tyson, he goes and finds 1 fire token, and everyone's running around, and he's like, I got 1. Who's got the other 3? And everyone's like, oh, dump out your stuff. And then
I did appreciate that Tyson made Boston Rob
dump out his stuff.
Yeah, because, Mr. Empty out your stuff, payback's a bitch. But of course, he doesn't have the goods on him.
Right. So the cool thing is, man, I really do like the segment where it shows Boston Rob finding the other 3. It goes back in time, and it shows how Boston Rob went up. He found the first one, he found the second one, he found the third one. But I do want to ask you this. Do you think in any way possible, obviously production must love Boston Rob, was there any hints, or do you think it was all, he found them, or do you think they were just like filming him? They're like aiming here and aiming there. You know what I mean?
They might have. That's always the key. When you're near something and you can't find it, they're going to show where it is to show you look stupid. So if you're smart enough to catch that. So I just think it was a matter of Rob just picked the right path. Like it's just, if I go here and then cut that way, like he crossed enough potential surfaces that could have it.
Yeah,
ahead of Tyson.
So
I think Tyson knew for sure where one would be, and he was correct. But I think those others were more in a direct path.
Okay. So Boston Rob's finds it. So he's got 3.
Of course,
Tyson has 1.
Kill me.
But I tell you what, I it's one of those weird things. Like, I do miss seeing Tyson and certain people that are voted out, Ethan, that are not in the game. It's sad that the old schoolers are gone, really. For me,
just math.
And
no one said there'd be math, Matt.
That's right. So after the Edge of Extinction, we go to DeCall. It's a funny little scene showing Tony running like an old man on the beach.
Once again, any scene that Tony gets, he fucking steals.
He does. He's hilarious. And we see Tony is trying, he's such a huge threat. Okay. And he's downplaying it and trying to do things maybe not so subtle, but he is trying to, show how smart Denise was. Like, Denise took down the queen, and Jeremy is like, yeah, Denise did that move and whatnot, but Tony's kind of more of a threat than Denise.
Yeah, but that's a smart move on Tony. He's trying to elevate Denise's stock to big threat level. And that's the only move he has at this point. For a guy that's essentially handcuffed, pun intended for being a cop, but his game is handcuffed because the second he starts playing, then he goes to threat level midnight.
Right.
So right now they know he's a threat, but they're just like, he's funny. Like, we're going to get rid of him, but he's, he was next in the pecking order after Sandra. And now his due date is there, and he's doing everything he can without really playing. And props to him for he is quote unquote surviving.
Yeah, he is. And I love Tony. So we see, some glimpses of Kim talking to Denise. Any thoughts on Kim? I know in our Patreon video that we spoke about at the beginning of this podcast.
Oh, the top 10 worst winners and the fact that she's on my list?
Yes, that's right. So, Russell Hantz was kind of talking about her, and, did she win her original season because she was playing with a bunch of dummies, besides our good friend Troyzan? But what was your thoughts on her gameplay? Like this, episode 7 into the game. Are you a fan or really impressed by Kim at all?
I think she's still a deer in headlights. I am unimpressed, and I think her game above so many has been exposed to the max.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we see the Yara tribe. I looked at my watch. I'm like, it's 8:20. We've gone to Edge of Extinction twice in this episode, and we're just now getting to another tribe. It's kind of.
You know what I was upset about? So Sandra goes there at night, after being voted out, and takes her torch over and raises the mast to leave Edge of Extinction.
Right.
And I was and if you notice the scene where Ethan goes back to get the scrolls, the mast is back down. I was very disappointed they didn't. I don't know when they lowered the mast. But I was really hoping it would be up in the morning and that we would catch a glimpse of whatever tribe is near there that can see the Edge of Extinction, seeing that flag go up.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah.
But I don't know if that moment even happened.
Yeah, who knows?
I mean, we didn't see it, but
could it be like a secret scene? Maybe.
Yeah, or did they just lower the mast after they picked her up?
Yeah. Who knows?
Disappointing. I think even if it's just a secret scene, I would have liked that moment of them. It's like, holy look, motherfucker! Yeah, something's going on.
Yeah. So the Yara tribe, Ben and Adam start, talking like, who's got an idol? It's idol talk. Like everyone's wondering, like, who's got it?
Yeah.
But in reality, Sophie has it.
Yeah.
And Adam is convinced that Sarah has it.
Where did they get peanut butter?
I don't know.
Someone obviously used a token to buy peanut butter.
I don't know. That's a good question. I guess they did.
Yeah.
But speaking of peanut butter, I had a peanut butter and a honey sandwich today. I've been bringing food to my work I haven't gone out. I mean, I don't know about you, Johnny, but I have really not left my house at all, which is fine. Really, being quarantined is not that much different than, besides, like, I'm paranoid about gas stations and just going out to stores and just being out in general. I just don't want to even risk anything at the moment. But I go to work every day. We do our podcast, and I was cooking on my Blackstone and hanging out on the patio with my kids and chilling. So it's really not that difficult for me to adapt. Now, I know you do a lot more, axe throwing, and you go out to wrestling, this and that.
Yeah,
and
all that. Yeah, my life has completely changed. However, like, there's so many shows that I've been wanting to watch on Netflix and every, like, I'm caught up on Better Call Saul, and I got to binge through the Tiger King, and a little peek behind the curtain. Our good friend Mitchell Olsen from Survivor Australia is interviewing Joe Exotic tomorrow through jail, and wherever the video of that ends up, the audio he is providing to us here at Survivor NSFW. So you will be able to hear Mitchell Olsen interviewing Joe Exotic here on this channel, wherever you listen to podcasts, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever. Click that subscribe button. I'm not sure if we're going to have the YouTube content, but we will have the audio available wherever you listen to Survivor NSFW. So check for links for that at survivornsfw.com. We're really excited for that. Quite the exclusive.
Yeah, no doubt. That's awesome, man.
No, but and the rest of my free time is spent doing podcasts for Patreon, as people are noticing.
Yeah. No. So, immunity challenge time. This is the challenge that Nick was terrible at on his first season.
Oh, that was the worst.
Versus Goliath. And Jeff Probst even says, like, it was the worst, in the history of Survivor, one of the worst, blowouts or terrible deals. So he's getting called out for it.
Hold on. Let's go back in time.
Yeah.
They didn't have the way the tribes spanned out with the going from 2 tribes to 3.
Yeah.
His tribe was weak.
Mm-hmm.
They did not have the physical strength to carry that big saucer.
Yeah, so essentially you're carrying this gigantically heavy saucer, and you got to go get water in it, and then bring the water back over these obstacles so you don't spill a lot of it. Like
Nick is my size,
right?
And Nick was the muscle of his tribe on David versus Goliath.
Yeah, right.
Like once they did, and so I mean, like Mike White was Mike White has trouble holding up his cell phone.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get that you're doing a callback to an earlier season, and yes, Nick was on a tribe that that did poorly.
Yeah.
But you can't when you physically don't have the strength to do that challenge.
Yeah.
Like it's like me making fun of my 3-year-old for not being able to do multiplication.
Right. Yeah. Well, so real quick, I want to say, as we're doing this live, we get comments from our listeners and our viewers. Chris Burns said, did anybody find it odd that we didn't see the castaways' reactions to Sandra getting voted off when they went to the challenge?
I have right here in my notes, no reference to who was voted out and the verbal exchanges afterwards, which is
I wonder why.
One of the coolest things that we see on Australian All-Stars is just like so-and-so voted out and each tribe discusses it. But instead, we get the same fucking tired, played out joke of, are you going to hand me the immunity idol or am I going to have to come and get it every fucking time instead of human interaction?
Right. Yeah. That's weird. I mean, good point, Chris. And that's very odd considering Sandra is one of the most iconic players in the history of the game. Yeah, and Poverty too. So, yeah. Well, all I know is they didn't do that, and it would be interesting to to talk to Sandra and their different people and be like, why, or like ask people like, did you guys react to those two being out? Very interesting. But this challenge, as it goes through, we see Sophie and Ben like at the puzzle portion of this. It all boils down to the puzzle. 2 of the tribes get immunity.
Was that a beautiful puzzle?
It was a beautiful puzzle. And you know what? As we see in this puzzle, any fool can climb a wall or crawl through sand. But as every fan knows, Survivor challenges are won or lost at the puzzle. As we saw tonight, the most successful players like Sophie and Ben tonight are puzzle masters. You can be one too. Perplexers Puzzles creates handmade miniature replicas of many of Survivor's greatest and most challenging puzzles. Find out if you have what it takes by visiting the Perplexers Puzzles store on Etsy or simply visiting survivorpuzzle.com. Enter promo code Fairplay at checkout for a 10% discount. You will not be disappointed. I can't wait to get my hands on some of the new, like the marble labyrinth puzzle.
I was about to say, that's what I was just about. Have you seen the labyrinth puzzle?
Beautiful. And I know this guy's killing it. This guy's got to be
he's got like I'm looking right now. 6 people have the labyrinth in their cart. The tree that was a monumental puzzle on this season. Over 20 people have a cart. The fire. We will be our next. Are we going to do in the Q&A?
Oh, the battle between you and I.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll figure that out. Let's
do that in the next Q&A. I need to be mentally prepared.
Oh yeah,
the fire puzzle. Really, the 2 was it the 2 dragons?
Yeah,
the 2 dragons, which led to Ethan telling Boss Rob, dude, you suck today. T-shirt available at JonnyFairplay.com. That puzzle is available at SurvivorPuzzle.com. All these puzzles. So all of you people that are stuck inside your houses, you're on lockdown. Yeah. If you attempt to go to Amazon to order a puzzle, pretty much every puzzle has sold out.
Yeah,
I don't know if you're aware of this. Like, people, they know they're stuck. That's a new thing. People love puzzles. They're sold out. If the puzzle is available,
hey, hold on real quick. Stop going like this. Stop pounding your desk.
Sorry.
I hear it through the mic. Okay, that's okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
So if you were to find a puzzle on Amazon.com, do you know when it would arrive at your house?
Probably not anytime soon.
April 24th. April 24th.
April 24th.
No, Matt's birthday present is arriving April 17th. I got that in. I got that in a day earlier. So no, go to SurvivorPuzzle.com. You guys love Survivor. Do this at home. Like this is something you're on lockdown. You're not leaving the house. Don't leave your fucking house. I'm begging you. Don't leave your fucking house. Do a puzzle. Go to SurvivorPuzzle.com. Use
promo code Survivor.
No.
What is it? I don't know.
Promo code Fairplay.
Oh, well, there we go. Sorry. Yeah, 10% discount. Promo code Fairplay at checkout. 10% discount. You will not be disappointed. I swear they're fun. My boys and I, they're always screwing around with it. We always do puzzles in general at my house, but it's about time someone makes replicas. So go to, the easiest way for me when I look at it is just go to survivorpuzzle.com. So, this puzzle tonight, Sophie and Ben were killing it, and then it was a battle. We had Michelle and Wendell versus Denise and Jeremy, and it was very, very close. I was on the edge of my seat like, holy crap, who's it going to be? And you had Wendell talking smack like, he's always trying to prove a point by saying, calling Jeff Probst to make him aware I'm about ready to be done with this thing.
Well, early he calls out Probst earlier, and Jeff says, the Red Tribe is so far behind, or catastrophic loss of water. It's just like, dude, relax. And Nick, I don't know if you've been paying attention to this. Nick ain't taking no guff off Probst. Nick ain't fucking with production. He's just like, look, man, I left my hot as fuck fiance at home to go win $2 million. So stop with all these shenanigans. I ain't come here for none of y'all. I came here to win $2 million and bring that back to my girl that's a million times harder than Parvati. So let's all relax. So when Wendell's calling out Jeff and when Jeff's calling out Wendell, Wendell's calling out back, Jeff goes, "Don't pay no attention to him." I thought that was so great.
It was.
So, but when we get down to the end of the puzzle, here's a big thing that I think is very important. Like, I understand the perception of it looking like Wendell is being arrogant and trash talking and all that. But, rewind 3 seasons, Wendell lost an immunity, even though he did the puzzle first, because he didn't say, "Hey, Jeff, look at this."
Yeah, I think
Wendell will never. Wendell will never let that happen again.
No, so I don't blame Wendell for doing it. And maybe it came across arrogant because he's like chewing on his little stick or whatever. But I if I'm Wendell, I'm not gonna be letting that happen again. So good for Wendell for calling it out. But they ended up losing
by 1 second.
And
1 second.
Oh yeah.
Who are you rooting for?
Man, that's a good question, because I'm a fan of Yule, so I wanted Yule and Wendell and Nick, their tribe, to win 100%.
They are one of my favorite tribes of all time.
Yeah, I mean,
I love that. I mean, think about it.
I do too. Well, first of all, we're friends.
With 3/4. Well, I'm friends with Yule. I mean, we're not BF. We had an alliance going into fans versus favorites.
Yeah, but dude, I don't know Yule, but Yule is like one of my favorites right now in this season. And obviously Nick and Wendell and Michelle are friends of ours. So totally wanting them to win. And they lost.
That one hurt.
It sucked. And I'm wondering, God, just the devastation of the loss for that being that close, like one puzzle piece. You know what I mean?
1 second. It's not even. It's less than a puzzle piece. It's
right.
It's like they both put in the puzzle piece. One tribe did it 1 second faster.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So we see after this, Yule kind of not afraid to call out. He's talking about Wendell's overly being cocky, right? Which Yule knows that he's the last old school player standing.
Yeah.
And Yule is extremely smart and thinks things out. And Yule is totally doing whatever he can to try to, gain footing and keep himself into the game. I mean, he's got 3 people that he knows go to these events, charity events, and know each other on social media and are kind of involved in the whole Survivor scene.
Two of which dated.
Yeah, and Yule has kind of been out of the scene forever. So the fact that Yule is playing such a great game, knowing that, he's completely outnumbered from that standpoint, I think he's doing a great job. He's not giving up.
Did you think early on in this segment of the show that it was going to be Michelle betraying Wendell? Because the symbolism of the praying mantis, the female praying mantis, I can they're just like, oh no. I'm right. Because I'm seeing, from the start of the show, I felt like we got, we got an incredible moment with, what many believe to be one of the greatest players in the history of the game, Sandra Diaz-Twine, leaving the game.
Yeah.
And then, some moments of genuine human interaction on Edge of Extinction. We're seeing the dynamics of the Yara tribe. We're seeing all this stuff. And what I can, I don't think it was a fun challenge, but I as a viewer, I think it was a really cool challenge. I like that challenge on David versus Goliath. I liked it again watching it tonight. I'm sitting here going, this is my favorite episode this season.
It was great.
I'm just like, is this episode going to be ruined by Wendell going home?
Yeah.
I'm like, can I still say it's the best episode this season if Wendell goes? Because that's kind of shitty friend material right there. Even though, did you see that? So there's a meme of Joe Exotic, the Tiger King, and someone put, I'm gonna tell my kids this is Kenny Chesney, and so Wendell is on his second watch of the Tiger King. So I sent him that, and literally 30 seconds later, he crossed out Kenny Chesney and put, I'm going to tell my kids that's Jonny Fairplay.
Yeah.
T-shirt coming, folks. I assure you. Don't worry. Go to JonnyFairplay.com real soon. So get all your fun shirts at JonnyFairplay.com, including the Dirty Harry shirt that I'm wearing.
But yeah, so, before we go into Tribal, man, we're seeing, Nick has a good decision to make. I mean, Michelle's kind of like, Nick, I'll do whatever you want to do.
She told Wendell the same thing, though.
She did. And this dynamic, man, is like the Wendell and Michelle thing, man. Like, I don't know what happened in their relationship, but it's pretty rocky seeing them go through their bickering through playing Survivor together. Like, I wouldn't have really put it past Michelle to vote Wendell out of the game.
I have a question for you. Is he too? Is Michelle getting hotter by the second?
She's a beautiful girl. If you guys ever get a chance to meet her, she's stunning. I mean, she is so gorgeous. But I'm sitting here watching on the show. I mean, I think she started the game beautiful, but I'm just like, every time they come back from a commercial, I'm just like, did Michelle just get hotter? Like, way to go, Pete. Oh man, dude.
But when Michelle, I do have this problem with Michelle. She where is it here? She really wants to just to show that she deserves a win. And she also wants to prove to everyone that she deserved her previous win. Now, I'm sorry. I don't think there's anyone that can say she didn't deserve her first win. I mean, did we get to see it? No. But did she deserve it? Yeah. In spite of, I think she saw the writing on the wall. She was not production's pick to win. Right.
Yep.
So in spite of that, she was like, I would still like the $1 million.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to play along with you guys. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do just in case it could work against me.
Yeah.
And I think that win is just as impressive, if not more impressive, than someone that production likes.
She needs to stop being so insecure. Because it's like you said it so many times. It's like, I get it. You really want to prove to yourself, and she's playing a good game. And but I don't think
she doesn't need to prove. I mean, she might need to prove it to herself, but Michelle Fitzgerald, you don't need to prove it to anyone else because you did. As I said, I think that's a harder game to win when production doesn't like you.
Yeah. Right.
So, it sucks for us, the viewer, but I'm not penalizing you for it.
Right. Oh yeah. I hear you.
I just tell production to be a little more flexible with who you like.
Yeah. Yeah. So going into Tribal, man, it's like it's there with 4 players. We know there's a merge coming.
One more thing.
Yeah.
So going into that commercial break, there's a modern song with a female singer playing in the background during this. Is that a first in Survivor?
Probably. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, go back and watch. Going into that commercial break, it's a modern. Like with the harder keyboard sound. It is it's not the island music that we've grown accustomed to over the years.
Yeah, they are doing a newer. It's like a female. Oh yeah. It's not.
But this is a girl singing a song.
Yeah.
Like it's not islandy at all. And
she's singing is it the same kind of at the beginning of they've done this kind of song before when they show the flag doing slow motion. You hear a woman singing a lyric.
Yeah,
like an
but
actual song lyric.
If this isn't that same song, this might be another song by that same art. But
someone
the song is from Sia. There you go. That would explain it. You spread that Sia money. You're allowed to put that put that in there. Okay, well that's cool. For those of you looking for the greatest Christmas album of all time, Sia's Christmas album is it, and I'm not saying that just to get Sia money down the road, even though I would like it.
I love it. So we go to Tribal.
How cool is that?
That's super cool.
Hey, thank you so much, guys, for Sia's SIA, by the way. But as I said, it struck a nerve, or it struck a. Not necessarily
struck a chord.
It was just alarming to me in that I was just like, this is new, and I really liked it because I really felt it set the tone for everything that's going, the angst that's going on internally with Michelle and this situation.
Right. So we when we go to Tribal, we see Jeff saying, like all the old school players are gone, you'll accept you, and it is pretty crazy. I mean, as much as I wouldn't want to see Nick, Michelle, or Wendell go, I was a fan of Yule, man. Like I think that he's one of the most dangerous players out there as far as if he would have made it deeper into the game. Could Yule have won being the last old school guy standing? Probably not. I think that at some point, if it wasn't tonight, he would have gotten, the boot. However, overall, a very good performance from Yule. If I'm Yule, having not played Survivor in many years, getting invited back to an all-winner season and seeing myself the way I was edited this season for Yule, I would be happy. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, and plus, I mean, look at the support across the Survivor community and the Survivor fandom and his support of the ALS drive for the Penners.
Yeah, right.
So no, I mean, like the guy, he's a classy guy, and I think he's being shown as such. He does play a very unflexible game, and I think that was his downfall. So because as I mentioned earlier, he's very logical. And I think logic based gameplay and for this newer style, they're like, nah, not so much.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, I hear you, man. I hear you. So I have a question for you. So Yule goes home tonight, okay?
Well, hold on. Right before Tribal, it comes down to Nick saying, "Hey, us four are tight. If I'm the one sent to exile, I'll come back and work with you."
Right.
Wendell says, "I will not."
Right. Oh yeah. Wendell's not having it.
Yeah, and Yule says, "Maybe."
Yeah. Yeah. But so I have a question for you on this. So at the end of the day, Michelle, they vote out Yule, and Michelle says something to Wendell like, I wanted to make you scared, or she says
it's nice to see you on your toes. Or
yeah. Right. So my question is this all part of Michelle's master plan in the future to, like, is she going to get her revenge on Wendell and vote him out and have the pleasure of that? Or is she going to play with her brain? Like the emotional Michelle.
Shaking in your boots. There you go.
Yeah. So what do you think that she's going to end up screwing Wendell over in the future?
I don't know. I mean, it pains me because I love both of these people. I love all three. I mean, as I said, like, me and Ethan have been, thick as thieves for so many years, but, in the last few years, I mean, me, Wendell, and Nick, those are my boys. And then, if I have to pick one girl to choose, it's Michelle. Like, I'm so glad that, that I've got to spend the time that I have with her. So, no, I don't want to see it.
Right.
But gosh darn it, if it doesn't appear as though that's the story they're telling.
I know.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. Yule is gone. All the old school players are out. We will have to see how it plays out. But a great episode of Survivor.
Yule gives his tokens to Sophie and Sarah. So despite how much that was his family, apparently they were not his family once they sent him out of the family.
Oh, right on, dude.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, the fire tokens are going to be interesting how they play deep into the game. I'm excited. It's put a whole new twist and a whole new dynamic into the game of Survivor. So be sure, if you want t-shirts, go to JonnyFairplay.com. Every shirt that's purchased gets a call from the man himself, Jonny Fairplay. And if you love our podcast and would love to support what we are doing, in addition to getting a ton of extra content, especially during this time of quarantine, you can go to our Patreon, which is patreon.com/Survivor NSFW. All the tiers. Jonny, tell them about the tiers real quick and what we have to offer.
Actually, the tiers are changing tomorrow. $5 gets you in on the entry level. You get all of our old Castaway watch-alongs and all of our Cruising with the Castaway specials. The $10 tier, you get our weekly Q&A. You get our top 10 list. You get our bonus Survivor Australian Survivor All-Star interviews first. You get every audio and video that we have available starting at the $10 tier. And then the $20 tier gets you the poster that you see behind me, the Idols poster illustrated by Eric the Ice Cream Scooper, along with all the content as well. The Outcast Twist, I believe it's called. You get 4 autographed pictures from different survivors each and every time, like some of your favorite castaways like Nick and Wendell and Hot Cop Dan and Davey and Carl, the Godfather Carl, Big Tom. Plenty. We have over 100 autograph picks from all different survivors. And the Black Friday tier is going away tomorrow, and that's going to be replaced with an all new tier. I am raising money. I'm heading to South Africa, fingers crossed, in September, and we're building Christian schools in South Africa. And we're raising money for that. My goal is to raise over $3,000, and that is a large goal. And as a result, we're going to have a new tier that starts tomorrow, in which you get an autographed season 40 buff. It's either an autographed Wendell buff, an autographed Officer Sarah Yara buff, or an autographed buff by Nick and Michelle. And you have your choice. And those are, and you get all the, all the content that comes with Patreon. Those are going to be $200, and all of the proceeds, 100%, is going to Worth Playing For. It's the charity event coming up in South Africa in September. All the proceeds from that is going to that, and I'm really excited to be able to help and to donate all of that money to that. So that new tier will be dropping tomorrow. So, and all that's available at patreon.com/Survivor NSFW. Links to everything, of course, at Survivor NSFW. And don't forget, get your picks in for next week's episode. It's the merge episode. Everybody drop your buffs. Go to FanDuel.com/Fairplay. Fairplay is all capital letters. That's FanDuel.com/Fairplay. And get your picks in to win over $2,000. It's very simple. Go in. It's free. It costs no money. And go to FanDuel.com for that. Go to SurvivorPuzzle.com. Use promo code Fairplay for 10% off. And, of course, BlueChew.com and Manscaped.com. Promo code Survivor for lots of discounts and free stuff there. Whew. Matt, are you tired yet?
I am, and we're about ready to. I'm going to take a 10-minute break, and we're going to record our Q&A for our patron side. So, literally, if you want to become a patron and all this stuff Jonny mentioned, just go to SurvivorNSFW.com. It's all there.
Yeah,
and
and you're a part of the secret Facebook group when you become a patron. No matter what price level you're at, you become a member of the secret group. It's a really cool cast of characters there. Everyone's nice. It's honestly just the Survivor NSFW fan group and the secret Patreon group are the two nicest Facebook groups I've ever seen. It's really awesome. And so I'd like to thank everyone that's a part of each and every one of those. And once again, when you're a patron, you're added and you get to ask the questions for our weekly Q&A. And I will say this, like, people are just like, how many Survivor questions can someone ask? The first question we have this week is, could you guys do a little fan fiction on how Harvey Weinstein got the coronavirus? And the fan fiction that I have to provide, holy shit, get ready. It's gonna blow your socks off. So thank you so much, everybody. We appreciate the support. We're really happy to be there with you guys during all this going on in the world. Everybody stay safe, stay at home, keep listening to the podcast, and get yourself some bonus content at patreon.com/Survivor NSFW.
Cheers, and we will see you guys next week. Love you all. Good night.
Whew.